I think that one of the hardest things of being a Christian is to fully trust in God. And see, we can say, well, yeah, I trust in God. I believe in Him, and I have faith in Him. But have you been really put to the test? I think many of us can say the same words. Yeah, I have faith. I have full trust in God. But has God been calling you to do something, and have you hesitated? I ask that question because that's what happened to me. See, more than 22 years ago, I have given my life fully to Christ. I was dedicated. I was studying the Word, praying like never before. And years prior to that, I really didn't have much interest in the Word of God. But God had called me to do something. And after I had come back and been studying for a few years, God called me, and I felt that He was calling me to do something to help others. And I hesitated on that a lot. During that time, I was doing my master's in Muncie, Indiana, in Ball State University. And I really had no desire at that point to do anything. I mean, I was taking between 22, 24 credits per semester. I had to work, and I had to do some work also as far as the scholarship that I had in the school. So I really didn't have any time. And those thoughts of wanting to help others were kind of being put into the side. But the more I studied, the more I prayed, the thoughts kept growing and growing. And I really felt that God was calling me to do something. But I had kind of that fight within myself and saying, there's no way, this is just probably a crazy thought or something. Well, and finally, after the first semester, once I was going back to the second semester, I did want to put God to the test. And I said, if you really want me to do something, you have to show me that you're in control, because I really cannot do this. Well, when the second semester was about to start, even though I had a scholarship at Ball State, I still had to pay some fees for the semester and the books and just different things that I still had to pay, even though I had that scholarship that would pay most of the school. But when I went into the finance office and I asked, I told the lady, yeah, I'm here to pay for my semester. And she quickly, looked in the computer, and she saw and told me, well, your semester has already been paid for. And for me, it was kind of a shock. Like, what do you mean the semester is already paid for? And she said, yeah, your semester is already paid for. You can go ahead and go get your books. And I asked her, but wait a minute, who paid for my semester? I haven't applied for any loans or anything. And she said, it doesn't show me here in the computer who paid for it, but it just shows that you're paid. And at that moment was for me like a slap in the face, to be honest. I truly believed that God was in control and wanted me to do something out of my ordinary. And He had to do something extraordinary for me to understand that He was really in control. Though a lot of more things happened, but that was the beginning of how Prince of Hope International started, the nonprofit that started 22 years ago. And it was God leading one way after the other on funds and different things. And throughout the series of these videos, I'll be sharing some other stories that actually happened of how God was leading everything. And it's just incredible stories. Here in Jeremiah 29:11, He says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." You see, when we have full trust in God, He accomplishes those plans. But what does it mean to have full trust in God? Is to lay everything, and when He calls, be willing to answer. See, that's what the prophet Isaiah also did. And God was saying, here I am, and and who's willing to answer my call? The only one that answered was the prophet Isaiah and said, Lord, send me. And I believe the Lord calls each one of us to do something, to touch someone's life, to be a hand to others, probably to start some other nonprofit organization, helping millions around the world, helping the sick, the needy. I don't know. But the Lord has called each one of us to do something extraordinary. Not because we can, but because He promised that He will be with us. Do I believe He's calling you today? I truly believe so. If you're watching this video, most likely He's calling you to do something as well. If you have tried to put that off, don't do like I did. Answer the call. And Lord, just ask the Lord in your knees, go into prayer and say, Lord, I'm here to do whatever you want me to do. I promise you by His word that He will guide you and He will be right beside you. Will you go through tough times? Absolutely. Yes, you will. Will it be easy? Most likely not. But will you accomplish what you need to do by God's grace? Absolutely. And let me tell you, those that answer the call will experience something most people will never experience in their life. And that is to walk hand in hand with God. May God bless you. Answer the call.